Hello, guys. Welcome back. I'm gonna take it as a sign for the universe. I looked over. It's 11:10. It's close enough to 11:11. I'm gonna call 11:11. In fact, do I do this? Yeah, I got 11:11. So there you go. So had to take a mental health break yesterday. I'm tired of the news cycle. I'm tired of a lot of things right now. And so King Payman was actually the one to talk me down because he said, you can't control other human beings. They're gonna always react this way. He's been around long enough. He goes, why is any of this surprising you? You know how self-centered a lot of people are. You know there are always grifters and bad people out there. You know there are people that will blindly follow a leader straight off a cliff if that's what the leader tells them to do, because a lot of people don't like thinking for themselves because it's hard. Back here, and it's true. A lot of people would rather have someone else do the thinking for them. That's why they'll take the worst possible advice in times of crisis, because someone else said it, so they'll go do it. And it's especially challenging because it seems like every couple of hours we get contradicting advice from scientists and doctors, and we're all trying to do the right thing, but we don't know what the right thing is. Here in Pennsylvania, it's subtly changed without, I'm not going to sit through a 2 hour damn news conference. Not at this point. My ability to do that now is shot. It's gone. But what they're doing is they're going around. They're either, in some cases, arresting people. In some places, they're fining people $200 for violations. And violations are just driving around because you feel like it, or being out in your yard having drinks, or going and doing this other stuff. And yet other officials in the same state will tell you it's okay to go fishing. It's okay to have a pet daycare center. I'm like, who the hell needs to take their pets anywhere now? Essential workers, yes, but who the hell else needs to take their pets anywhere now? You can't stand your animals that much. You're still taking them to a doggy daycare? God. Anyhow, I got heat back here. I'm like mystified in the state of what's considered essential and what's not. You will get fined if they catch you out in your yard, yet you can go fishing. And I'm like, the actual fuck. This is why nobody knows how to obey these orders, because they're not consistent. You're being told, stay in your home at this point. Stay in your home. Don't even be outside. And yet, go fishing. That's going to be kind of hard. I don't think the fishing pole exists for me to, even though I live right next to a swamp, I don't think the fishing pole exists that I could cast from here in my home to even stay down in the swamp and try to catch copperheads or something. So it's like really confusing to live in this state now. And King Payman was the one to tell me, well, you know what to do. You do the absolute minimum you have to outside. Like, I went and put my trash can in. I picked up any wind chimes that got blown down last night because we had another series of storms that was like shaking the house. And I just did that, and I didn't get to see the pink supermoon last night because we're not supposed to be out of our houses unless we have to. And I was even wondering if somebody was going to narc on me because I took the time to untangle a wind chime. So I officially like humans even less than I did before, but I know why they're cracking down like this, because nobody was taking it seriously. And unfortunately, that's what happens when a lot of people break the law and don't listen to guidelines. Then they crack down on everybody. It's like, you remember how you would have that one bad kid in class that would get the whole class in trouble? That's exactly what this is. Now we all have to suffer through it. And it's fine anyways, because I'm allergic to everything outside, but it's still the idea that I was like, well, I guess I could go have coffee. Oh, having coffee on my porch now is illegal. Okay. I hate my life. So I can open my door. Can I open my door and like look outside and have coffee? Is that permissible at this point? And he had to calm me down about, I don't think Walmart owns any of the stuff that I have on backlog, because it's been, I think over 2 weeks since some of these items. Thankfully, stuff I ordered since then shipped. We have a fuck ton of rice and everything else. We're good for at least a month. That said, you start to get nervous because you don't want them double dipping into your charges or something. He's like, just let that all go. We will watch over it. Mammon and Payment and everyone will watch over it for me. And you can put that in the hands of whatever gods you work with. Especially now, you don't want somebody, delaying a shipment, delaying a shipment, delaying a shipment, and then not on purpose, but double charging you once they've shipped the stuff. Because I'm confused now as to whether they charge me on everything, or they're just charging little dibs and dabs at a time. I think Walmart doesn't charge you until they ship, which is why I have some damn strange charges on my account from Walmart, and I had to figure out it was, oh, they didn't ship any of this stuff, so once they finally shipped 2 things, they charged me for that. I think that's how it's working. I don't know. So Payman has just been trying to remind me that, we don't have control over other people's actions. We don't have control over what they think. So stay the hell out of the YouTube comment section on any videos you're trying to watch, catch up on the news or whatever you're doing. We don't have control over how other people act. If people keep breaking the law around here, I'm not going to narc on them, but I'm sure as hell not going outside either. And it's the thing. We know we're getting warnings now that hey, we're doing great. In Pennsylvania, New York, and that we're doing great, and they think we're flattening the curve, which is good for Pennsylvanians because we're like one tick away from blooming and being as bad as New York, if not worse. Because if you remember, New York hit a couple hundred cases, and then a couple hundred more, and then it just got out of control. We're at over, unfortunately, 1,400 confirmed cases, over 200 deaths, and nobody's recovered in this state. So I'm like, that's not good. I don't know if we're not counting people that recovered or what it is, but a lot of the deaths are only from 2 counties away. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going outside ever again. So I'm trying to do that, and we have to stay positive. I know it's kind of unnerving, like especially for us omnivores. You see, factories shutting down for a while, like pork factories and stuff like that, because people were sick. And with raw food products, you have to. I can tell you, I worked in food service. If you are sick in food service and you have been around any of the food, it is a thing by law, and this was before coronavirus, so don't freak out, guys. Everything you exposed yourself to has to be dumped. It has to. It's a law in this country. You have to dump it. Our boss used to get so fucking pissed off because people, that's the law, but you'll lose your job if you stay home too. Anybody who works in food service can tell you that. And people would show up sick and they would cough or something, and the case would be open, and several hundred dollars worth of food would get to go in the garbage because that was the law. And they have cameras on you 24/7. If they catch you violating the law, we would have paid for it, not the company, not anyone else. It was said, "Oh, careless worker." But I don't want to panic people that are still going out to shop, but it's the law. You're supposed to dump all that stuff. Any kind of food that's like in I worked in hot food, so it's like a lot of food that comes actually in. If you saw what it came in, you would never eat this stuff ever again. You never would. The first time I saw eggs floating in a green brine, I was like, holy fuck, I don't think I'll ever eat eggs again. If you saw what it looked like when it comes in, you would never eat it. None of us would actually eat the food at work. Anyhow, yeah, it's sharing stuff they probably don't want you to know, but you have to dump it. It's a thing. So I know it's a little unnerving, but it's just the food industry following safety guidelines. If one person gets sick, even in the best of times, you have to fucking shut everything down. You have to sanitize everything. Any food they could have possibly been exposed to, you have to dump it. It's just like if you get a cut when you're working in a kitchen and you get cuts all the time, you have to really over fucking wrap that and look like the mummy, and then you have to put like 2 pairs of gloves on, and you have to do all this stuff, and those safety procedures are already in place for you. They should be. And it's kind of, it's they're doing what they should. It's nothing for you to worry about. So it's kind of frustrating now. I think we're all tired of the news cycle because it's just children fighting at this point. It's no new data that we can use to further protect ourselves. We have what we have. And at this point, we all know we have to either wait until they test the vast majority of Americans and other people so that we can have the all clear, or we're going to have some interesting times ahead. And that's not to panic anybody, but some news reporter asked, how are we going to know when we have the all clear when we have, millions of Americans that haven't been tested yet? And this doctor kind of smiled really sadly and says, "We won't." He said, "We have to get everybody in this country tested first before we know." And he said, "We know that's probably not going to happen, so we're going to be taking our chances in a month or so, or whenever they reopen. If Trump gets his way, we're probably going to reopen by Easter." So it's frustrating times. It's frustrating times, but there's nothing you can do about it. I'm just trying to not get arrested for going out to take my garbage out. And it's crazy. If you would have ever told me the world would come to this where, the cops would be going around catching people, outside having drinks and stuff like that and arresting them. It's weird. And it's not happening. That's the frustrating thing. You're seeing on the news they're treating these people like heroes. They're having these block parties from their um porches. They'll arrest you in this state. Don't try that in Pennsylvania. So it's kind of frustrating. Of course, it's not being enforced equally everywhere. So I'm sure there are people that are, having those block parties like that, and it's weird. It's really weird. And you're seeing the people right now that they want to prove they're a rebel, and they're going to still have like indie rock concerts and stuff like that, and they're getting everybody arrested. So cheers, this country. So just, kind of hunker down, guys. I know it's frustrating. I'm too worried about, not worried, but I'm too conservative now with the money to just pop off to the store to try to get a couple last things, because it's clear a lot of the Easter stuff's not going to show. At least not until well after Easter. They keep telling me it's coming. They keep telling me it's coming, and it hasn't even shipped yet. So no ducky or no Kinder eggs for Loki. I tried, and his little heart is broken. And I already asked Hermes and I asked a couple other ones, and they can't ship what they don't have, and I don't think they have it. So he's sad. They're saying they have it in stock, but I'm not seeing my order ship. And they have been, sending everybody like one package at a time and one package at a time. And I'm like, well, if they would at least send me like this or that or something, so I could start having some confidence in ordering stuff again. But I'm not seeing anything ship. So I've got like potential groceries, but they're not shipping them yet. So I'm just gonna wait, and we're good for the rest of the month. So I'm not gonna put any more orders in for the rest of the month because, I don't want to take a chance of having even more money tied up with them and then getting into serious trouble because I'll need that money to go out. It's always something. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. I needed a mental health day yesterday. We did try to make stuff for you. I played a video game and I thought it was like just that tiniest bit of too inappropriate even for this channel, so we didn't play it for you guys. It was Corona Blossom something something, nothing to do with the disease. It was kind of like an anime thing where the girls are busty and everything else. And yes, it's that kind of game, but this was the clean edit, and even the clean edit was just a little too much for. I'm like, some channels would get away with it, especially the ones that specialize in that kind of anime, but I would do it and I would get nailed to the wall, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So we didn't do that, and we didn't do we tried a couple different videos yesterday and they just weren't working out. I was just getting frustrated. I think it's this news cycle is sapping everybody's creativity. And if you're Gemini, I know a lot of people aren't keeping up with their stuff. Everything I'm getting from my runes to my cards to everything else is to wait, to have patience. I think I would do everyone well right now, but to wait, to have patience, especially with the supermoon that I didn't get to see yesterday because the storms were so bad they were shaking the house last night. Wait, be patient, don't make any rash decisions. I had advice a couple weeks ago from someone that I no longer work with, and we all know who that is, to wait, to be patient, that this stuff will eventually ship, that it's, you can't, I'm not faulting anyone. I'm not faulting the factories. I'm not faulting the workers in Walmart. I'm not faulting the delivery drivers. It's just a logistics thing right now. You have way too many people than the system was designed to handle going online now, and that's putting a glut in the system. And there are going to be people that are going to get their orders, and there are going to be times when Walmart's going to have to finally say to some of us, I'm sorry, this stuff's just not in stock. And it wasn't anything essential. It's not like, some kind of treatment for something or anything else. And yeah, there were some food in that orders, but we're stocked up for a while, and that's why you do this when you have disabilities, because not planning for current troubles, but you plan for strikes, you plan for floods, you plan for tornadoes, you plan for, snow, you plan for just stuff being taken offline for a while. So we're good. We're planned. Country folk, we kind of plan ahead. So I like to do that accent for people because like two towns over, they're like a slightly larger town. They go, "You're from the country, I can tell." So I will drag out that smart ass country accent. Oh, you can tell. I thought I did such a good job of covering up my accent, but I am not as learned as you are. How y'all doing? People in this town are sarcastic, yo. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.